That's sure prime beef, Mr. Cartwright. That's the finest I've seen.
Well, they weathered the trail dry pretty good.
My company is the largest buyer hereabouts. Now, the next time you send a herd through, you be sure to look us up. We pay top dollar.
All right.
Well, they're all 10 and ready for shipping.
Didn't lose a one.
That's a good drive. They're all yours now.
You boys will step into my office. I'll make out the transfer and bill of sale.
Oh, well, Jim, why don't you make out the papers, and meanwhile, we'll wash away a couple of weeks' worth of trail dust.
All right.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to find me a place that's got fresh eggs and vegetables and fruit, and I'm going to eat me so much I can't even push away from the table.
That'll take about 3 days.
Oh, now, come on, little brother. Don't limit me.
That was it.
That's more like it. I'm getting to feel more like my old self again.
You're getting to look like your old self again, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Rain.
Don't be sorry. Just keep out of my way.
He's blind, boy.
Yeah. Don't you think you've had enough to drink?
Gavin, I pay you to take care of my ranch, not wet nurse me.
Yes, sir. Now, I say we should get on home.
I say keep your hands off me. Gavin, I just hit you. What are you gonna do about it?
Nothing.
Anybody else do that, you'd rip his throat out. Why not me?
You know the answer to that, Mr. Rain.
Don't let these stop you. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me back.
I can't do it.
I want you to. Do you hear me? I want you to. Hit me!
I'm the one who hit you.
From the feel of it, you're a big man.
What he did, I don't call him a big man.
I figure you needed that.
You're right. You big enough to take it?
You right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Put out your left hand. Now, I'm not going to duck away, but I will hit back. And I figure you got the first one coming.
You mean that?
Come ahead.
You hit pretty hard.
Well, I've had it if you have.
It's all washed out of me. I'm grateful to you, Mr.
Cartwright. Ben Cartwright.
Thank you, Ben Cartwright. I'm Matthew Rain.
This will only take a minute.
Hope it didn't make you feel you had to accept my invitation.
Now, the way I figure it, a man punches me in the nose. The least I can do is have coffee with him at his house.
I feel the same way.
Well, I should be back before dark.
We'll be at the hotel.
Yeah, over in the saloon. They serve a mighty fine meal over there.
Don't eat too much. That horse of yours has to carry you over the mountains.
It just might turn out to be the other way around.
Well, we have a whole afternoon to kill.
There's an empty seat in that poker game in there. I think I'm gonna fill it.
Yeah, and there's an empty bed over there in that hotel room. I think I'll fill it. That fella, Rain, does he remind you of anybody?
I hadn't noticed.
Anybody we know real well?
Yeah. Our Paul.
You're late. I was starting to worry.
No need to. We were detained.
Your face, what happened?
That's what detained us.
Where were you? Why did you let this happen?
Ask him.
Oh, you must feel very proud of yourself.
That'll be enough, Mrs. Loring. Mr. Cartwright is here at my invitation. So long as he's a guest at my house, you'll treat him accordingly.
I'm sorry.
Now that's settled. Run some hot water for us to clean up, then serve the coffee.
Yes, sir.
Stable the horses, give them an extra measure of grain.
Anything else?
If there is, I'll let you know. You interested in firearms, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, I am. Appreciate it if you call me Ben.
All right, Ben. After coffee, I'll show you my collection. Used to be a hobby of mine.
How do you like your extra measure of grain?
Mrs. Loring, this is the best pie I've ever tasted. My cook, Hopsing, would be very jealous of you.
Thank you. If you gentlemen need anything, you call me.
She seems very nice.
He's a good cook. Been with me over 2 years. Sets a fine table. Come over here. What do you think of this?
Ooh. Beautiful piece.
It was a gift from a Raja in India. Used it to bag my first tiger. Oh? It was almost my last, too.
What happened?
Charged straight at me. Got him with a bullet in the heart. He dropped right at my feet.
Things like that age a man.
Oh, about 5 years' worth.
Perfect balance. How's it fire?
Like to try it and see?
Yes, I would very much.
I'll have Gavin set up the targets. Keep a true line of fire. She'll do the rest. From the sound, I'd say you were a bit high.
Well, you guessed right. It was me, not the rifle.
Try again. Dead center. Fine shooting.
Well, like you said, hold a true line and she does the rest.
May I?
Matthew, are you a gambling man?
Name it.
Well, you know, in artillery, they have spotters who direct the line of fire for the gunners. And suppose I act as spotter, and I'll bet you $1 that you can zero in 3 shots.
You got yourself a bet.
Good. It's about 6 inches to the left. And about 3 inches down. That should give us a point to work from. That was about a foot to the right and 6 to 8 inches too high. About an inch or so to the right. That should do it. I guess I'm not a very good spotter. Well, that should be a true line there. About 3 inches down. Hold it. That should have it bracketed.
You won yourself $1.
Oh, no.
Here, take it. Come on, you've won it. Take it.
Matthew, why don't you try it again?
I shouldn't have tried it in the first place. Take your $1. Let's go inside. Have a drink before you leave. That kind of bottle I can always hit. Gavin,
Right here, Mr. Rain.
clean this. Bring Mr. Cartwright's horse out front.
Yes, sir. About had a belly full of him. Gavin do this, and Gavin clean the rifle, and Gavin
You can
do...
always leave.
Well, these days he'll go too far, and I will.
No, you won't. Matthew Rain pays you twice the money you'd ever make anyplace else. You'll stay. You'll stay and take his insults and his money.
Well, don't be too sure.
You better get back to your work.
There's a dance tomorrow night. You want to go?
No, thank you.
Why not?
Look, we've been over this and over this. I don't know why you still persist.
Well, what's wrong with me?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong with you. I'm just not interested.
Well, you got no call to be so uppity. You just go take a look in a mirror. Take a good look. In a couple of years, you'll be grateful if a man even nods at you.
That may be true. But for now, I still have the right to pick and choose.
You think the rich Mr. Rain is going to pick and choose you? Forget it.
Matthew, I want to thank you for a real nice visit.
Ben, stay a few days. Can give you good hunting here. Scenery to compare with your Ponderosa.
Well, I'd like to, Matt, but I think I'd better get back and see what those boys of mine are up to.
Well, perhaps some other time.
Yeah?
Goodbye, Ben.
Bye, Matt. Bye, Mrs. Loring.
Mr. Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright, do you have a few extra minutes?
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to show you something.
All right.
Have you ever heard of Matthew Rain, the artist?
Is he that Matthew Rain? He never said a word.
He never would.
His paintings hang in art galleries all over the world. How long's he been blind?
It started some time ago. He's been totally blind for the last 2 years.
And nothing can be done.
He's been examined by the finest doctors in the world. It's a disease that affects the fluid in the eyes. Matthew Rain will be blind for the rest of his life. I came to work for him when he bought this place. And day by day, Mr. Cartwright, bit by bit, I've watched him draw away from life, into himself. But today, for the very first time, I saw him interested in something, in somebody besides himself.
An artist with such talent.
Why don't you stay on for a few days? He needs somebody like you.
Oh, I'd like to. Just so many things that I simply must get done. I have obligations which
Men like you see a man hurt, wounded, dying, and you rush to help him. You sacrifice time and obligations to help him. But for Matthew Rain, you just pass by and close your eyes. He is also dying.
Well, yeah, I think you're exaggerating.
Am I, Mr. Cartwright? Am I, or is it just more convenient not to admit it? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No.
You're a stranger here. It's not your concern.
If you think I could help, You really care, don't you?
Well, it's just that I know what he's going through. Four years ago, I was the mother of 2 beautiful children, the wife of the most wonderful man I love so dearly. There was an epidemic, and I buried them. With them, I buried a part of myself. Oh, what was left breathed, ate, slept, but it had no will, no desire to even go on living. And when I came to work here, I saw another human being who had no desire to live, who was alone. That's when I started to live again. Mr. Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright, if Matthew just had one reason to want to live, if he doesn't...
Well, I don't know what good I can do, but I'll stay and try. Now, if you can get Gavin to ride into town and tell my boys to get along home. Mrs. Loring, in some ways, Matthew Rain is a very lucky man.
Well, you know what I'm going to have to do now? I'm going to take my vest off. Ready? sneak peek by night. Put in your castle, too. There and there.
Would you care for a sandwich?
No, thank you, Mrs. Loring.
This is in there.
That should be check.
You dirty bird.
How long we been out?
Oh, about 3 hours.
Way my backside feels seems more like 3 days.
Want to take a breather?
I feel fine. Just not used to it is all. Matter of fact, I'm not used to many of the things we've done these last few days.
They've been good days. I've enjoyed them.
Think those boys of yours can take care of things at the Ponderosa?
Well, my big worry is they'll find out they can handle things better than their old man.
Good for a man to have a family. I was always too busy to start one myself.
Well, it's not too late. You'd be a good catch for a woman.
Woman wants a complete man. I don't qualify.
Oh, come on. That isn't so.
Way I feel.
Matthew? Why do you treat Mrs. Loring the way you do?
I treat her same as I do anyone who works for me. She can always leave.
That's the point. She doesn't leave.
She's well paid.
You know, you're blind in more ways than one.
Ben, you say things I wouldn't allow any other man to say.
That's because I speak the truth to you.
All right, Ben. In the future, I will try to be more polite to Mrs. Loring.
Well, that wasn't the point I was trying to make.
Drop it, shall we? You know, I've been many places, all over the world. But this is the most vibrant land I ever found for my brush. When I knew what was happening to my eyes, I wanted to be here. This is one of the last places I was able to see. Ben, what do you see out there? Describe it.
I'm not very good at this.
Try.
All right. Well, there's a meadow over to the left. And the lake is filled from the winter snows.
The colors, Ben. Tell me about the colors.
The land is all green.
There are many different shades of green, Ben. The green of the meadow is like newborn grass after a spring rain. And the dark green of the hillside is like a deep forest shrouded in gray mist. And the trees that watch over the lake are like brown warriors in tattered uniforms. And over us, the sun glints silver on the lake. It dances on the darkness of the water until it softens into night. Then, the blue-green stillness. That's how I remember it. Let's go back.
You got company, Mr. Rain.
Who is it?
Said he was from San Francisco. Mrs. Loring is with him in your studio.
All right, take care of the horses. I have some business to transact. Shouldn't take long.
Oh, well, I'll go in and wash up.
Come with me.
All right.
I have to sell one of my paintings. When I started, I lived on nothing. It had its drawbacks, but I was content. When I became recognized, money became something to buy good times with. I spent it as fast as I made it. Now I can't hold a brush. Well, let's see what Mr. Stevens has to offer.
The color. They just seem to leap off the canvas. Mr. Rain's tragic misfortune has been a great loss to the art world.
Mr. Stevens, would you like some coffee? Anything at all to drink?
Nothing, thank you. I'm content merely to drink in the beauty of these works. Mr. Rains, how happy I am to see you. You look marvelous.
This is Mr. Stevens. He's handled the sale of my work for many years.
And quite profitably for both of us, I may add.
This is Mr. Cartwright.
Delighted. Mr. Rain, you'll never know how thrilled I was to receive your letter. Why, do you know I must have at least 5 clients who will be absolutely furious with me unless I notify them instantly when I return to my salon with your painting.
That's fine. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Oh, yes, of course, by all means. Now, which one did you wish to sell?
I hadn't thought about it. Why don't you pick one?
Yes, of course, if you'd prefer. The one with the sea lions. I am positive Mr. Carruthers would pay $3,000 for it.
No, I painted that for a dear friend. He died before it was finished. I don't want to sell it.
Of course. I understand. How about this one of the bear?
Not that one. I knew him intimately. He almost killed me.
This one of the South Seas. I'm sure I could get a fine price for it.
I lived on that island for almost a year. No.
Mr. Rain, I'm afraid I'm not being very helpful. Perhaps if you would choose
Take
one.
what you want. I don't want to know which one. Sell it and send me the check.
And leave it be. Why don't you stay here with Mr. Stevens and make the necessary arrangements?
I don't think you should be alone right now.
You'll be all right.
All right.
Ben,
Yes, Matthew.
join me.
All right?
Made a bit of a fool of myself that time.
Oh, I don't think so.
If you had to choose, which of your sons would you give up?
Pretty difficult question.
Maybe it would have been better if I hadn't stopped that bear.
You don't mean that.
Don't I?
That painting of the sea lions. You did that at Carmel in California, didn't you?
How'd you know?
Huh? I recognize the landscape. You know, I was down in Carmel on business once. I can't remember just why. But I do remember walking along the beach one day, and I saw an old battle-scarred sea lion slowly drag himself out of the surf and onto the beach. That old sea lion had just come out of the surf to die. As I watched, there were 2 dogs playing around on the beach, and they spotted him. They attacked him. All that old timer wanted was to be left alone to die. But he reared up and fought those dogs off. With his last remaining strength, he fought them off. And then he laid his head down in the sand and died.
If he wanted to die, why didn't he let the dogs do the job?
Because he wanted to die with dignity And there's no dignity in giving up when you still have the strength to fight.
I do hope Mr. Rain won't be too upset over my selection. But I know I can get the most for this painting.
Please don't worry. Will you take it to San Francisco with you?
Oh, indeed, yes. However, do you have a crate to carry it in?
Oh, well, I'll have Gavin build one for you. And would it be all right if he brought it to you in town? That way you wouldn't have to wait.
Well, now, that is most thoughtful of you. I'm staying at the hotel. I feel that I've caused enough unhappiness for Mr. Rain. Would you convey my goodbyes?
Yes, I will. And you'll have your painting this evening.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Are the people that'd pay $3,000 for this?
Mm-hmm. And consider themselves very fortunate.
Why? It's only a picture.
Only a picture. There are very few people in the world that can even paint one like it.
It'll look like so much to me. What's so great about it?
You better get started on that crate as soon as possible.
Oh, no, you don't.
Gavin, take your...
Yeah, when I'm ready to. Now, you listen to me good. I don't have much learning, and I don't speak with fancy talk. And I ain't been all around the world, but I am a man. I think like a man, and I act like a man. And there ain't nobody gonna treat me like anything less. Leastwise, not a woman.
Have you finished?
And all I want is for you to be nice to me. That ain't asking too much, is it? Just be nice to me. Be nice!
Stop it! You bore me.
Oh, I do, huh? I bore you. But the rich Mr. Rain, he don't bore you, does he? That's what you want, ain't it? You ain't gonna get that from no blind, half-dead man like Rain.
No.
Did he hurt you?
No. He just frightened me more than anything.
What's been happening here?
Nothing, Mr. Rain.
I have ears. What happened?
Oh, it's just a little misunderstanding, Matthew. It's all settled now.
Stevens, you still here?
He selected a painting and left just a little while ago.
Your voice. Something's frightened you.
I'm perfectly all right.
Come over here. I said come over here. You're trembling. Now, I want to know what's been happening. Gavin, is that you?
Yes.
What happened?
It's none of your business.
What?
You heard me. It's none of your business.
Did you hurt her? Did you hurt her? Mrs. Loring, he has a week's wages coming. Pay him. And stay away from here.
That's right, Mrs. Loring. You pay me off. You fix his meals. You clean his house. And when he's through with you, someone else can take your place, because he can't do nothing for himself.
You've had your say?
Yeah, I've had it. I'll get me a job, because I gotta earn my way. But tell me something, Mr. Rain. When your paintings are gone, what are you gonna do?
don't even know what color.
Matthew, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! And light the lamp. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove?
Leave me alone.
Oh, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
What do you mean?
Just that. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get out. Sure. So you can destroy everything, including yourself. Is that what you want, to destroy yourself? Well, that's easy. It takes courage to live. What for? To do what you were born to do. I can't! Matthew, a creative man is not a one-sided man.
Don't lecture me like a child.
Then stop acting like a child.
Get out.
I'll get out after you've listened to me. Get out! You can't see, and now you won't listen. Matthew, don't you understand you have a gift? The gift of being able to create. You have the ability to put on canvas pictures which have brought so much joy to so many people. To create. It's a gift God gives to so few men.
Well, he's taken it away again.
Only one side of it. You can still paint pictures.
How?
And today you described a scene to me. You remember? You described it as you remembered seeing it. But what you were talking about was so much more beautiful than what I was looking at. Don't you understand? You can still paint pictures. Not with a brush, with a pen.
Matthew, he's right. Think of the countless stories you've told me these last 2 years. Beautiful, exciting stories. Why, they just poured out of you. You showed me places I never dreamed existed.
How can I? I don't know how to write.
Well, did you know how to paint when you started? Try.
How can I? By myself. I need someone.
You have someone.
Anne, would you stay with me? To help me?
For as long as you want me.
Please. Strange. I've known you every day for 2 years. I've never known what you're really like. You're beautiful.
I'm not at all beautiful. I'm a plain-looking, middle-aged woman.
This Anne Loring is beautiful.
Now, ain't that a pretty picture?
What do you want?
Satisfaction, Mr. Rain. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to get.
I thought I told you to leave.
that art dealer. He said that a man would pay $3,000 for one of these pictures. Now, I ain't too smart, but maybe, just maybe, I might find someone to buy them from me and not ask questions on how I got them. You think I'm smart enough for that?
You wouldn't.
Wouldn't I? Well, you just stand there and watch me. You ain't gonna give me any trouble. And don't try to call Cartwright. I'll shoot him if I have to.
Gavin, don't! I'll give you money, all you want.
Money's only part of it.
Don't let go of him, Matthew. Help him.
No. No, if we help him now, he'll need help the rest of his life.
I'm all right.
Yeah, everything seems to be all right.
How is he?
Battered, but he'll recover.
Gavin, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Why do you hate me?
To you, it's just a name you called when you needed something. No, I wasn't even a name. Just a thing. I'm as good as you are. I'm a man, too. I'm a human being, and you had no right to think I was anything else.
Well, I'll take him into town to the sheriff.
No. You're right, Gavin. These past 2 years, I've been so wrapped up in self-pity, I had no room left inside me for any other emotion. I don't feel that way now. Gavin, I'm sorry. Ben, let him go. You know, when I heard those 2 shots and realized how close I was to death, I knew I wanted to live.
Just staying alive sometimes makes other problems kind of unimportant.
Thanks to you and Ann. And Gavin.
Matthew, I've just got to get on home.
We will see you again, won't we?
Yes, many times.
I hope many times. And do you have anything left of that pie you baked yesterday?
I'm sure I have.
Well, let's have some of it and some coffee. How's that sound, Ben?
Sounds wonderful.
And while we're eating, I have a story to tell you. About the time I rode around the Great Wall of China on the back of a jackass.